Hi guys, it's me. I'm here and Chad's here and he's standing in the corner. He's got his computer, he's holding his computer. It's a very awkward position that he's in right now. Today I'm in our bedroom live streaming because if you saw my Instagram stories, my kitchen sink is clogged. It is disgusting. It looks like someone literally puked oatmeal in the sink. It's horrible. And I called a plumber and I'm like, please come. And I obviously, I called him a good long time ago, earlier in the day. And he's like, yeah, I think I could be there between 6 and 8. In my head, I'm like, that is literally the worst time that you could come because I knew I had the live stream happening anyway. So he's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure that's when I can come. So the guy's for sure going to come while we're in the middle of this live stream. And, Chad's just adjusting everything in case you're curious what's going on. Yeah, he's looking at his computer and adjusting my phone right now. So anyway, hey guys, it's great to see you here on Thursday. I just finished dinner. I made us a pretty quick dinner tonight. It was like eggs and some roasted squash and Brussels sprouts. That's what we had. And some cocktails. So, yeah, anyway, happy Thursday. I'm very happy to be here. I have some great questions from you guys. And say hi if you're watching. I'd love to see who you are and give you a little shout out if you're in. Hey, Courtney. Nice to see you here. And I put up a post on Instagram earlier in the week about my tea kettle, just talking about whether or not you guys are tea drinkers or coffee drinkers. Hey, Aldo. And I got a lot of responses, and a lot of you guys are very polarized about your tea or your coffee, and some of you guys will swing both ways. And I'll tell you quickly just about my coffee life story. So, as you probably know, hey, Panda. Hey Amanda, I had to stop drinking coffee about 4+ years ago. So when I was about 30, hey Elizabeth, hey Tiff, really bad acne. And I've had it since I was about 12. And it never went away. And I took all kinds of different medications. I took 3 rounds of antibiotics. I took several types of birth control pills. I put topical gel on. I was on 3 rounds of Accutane, which is insane, which is absolutely insane. That's like the maximum limit of Accutane that you can take. Hey, Fred. And then I had to just stop taking things and accept that I had acne. There was just nothing that was helping. And I actually had a doctor say to me, Melissa, you're screwed. That's what she said. It was very professional. And I actually stopped seeing her after that moment. Hey, Jessica. So, I had walked around, I had this acne, and when Chad first met me, I was this 23-year-old zit-covered young lady, and he still loved me, which was really nice. But when I was 30, I kind of decided, I had always kept my options open. I was always looking for new things, and I've always been into kind of natural kind of remedies and medicine and that kind of stuff. I went to see another naturopath. I had seen 2 naturopaths previously to this particular visit, and they all gave me like 400 different pills and tinctures and crazy things, and yeah, it was weird. But anyway, I went to see this guy, and he sat down and he said to me, okay, I can help you. It's going to take about a year, but I can clear your skin. And the first thing you have to do is stop drinking coffee. And my heart literally went right there in his office because I knew, I know coffee's just not good for your system. For some people it's totally fine, but people like me, I'm kind of sensitive, so anything that is somewhat irritating can sort of upset my stomach, and coffee's one of those things. So he said to me, yeah, some people just can't metabolize coffee, and if you're one of those people, which clearly I am, you have to stop drinking it. So then and there, I had to make a decision. Either I'm going to keep drinking coffee and have bad skin, and I felt like, okay, at age 30, I clearly don't deserve bad skin, or stop drinking coffee and find alternatives. So I moved on to tea. And the cool thing about tea, I gotta say, it does not smell anywhere near as incredible as coffee. Like, coffee to me is one of the most incredible, intoxicating, delicious smells in the world. I could walk into any coffee shop and just stand there and oh, it's intoxicating. But, you know, tea, there are a lot of wonderful, subtle nuances and flavors of teas, and you have to really find the one that you like. And I find that the tea bags at the grocery store are like the least exciting version of teas. So I would say don't go there. I'd say go loose leaf. So if you do have to make that transition from coffee to tea for whatever reason, but you still really like the caffeine or you still really like the warmth, there are lots of options. So I have, oh, get coffee flavored tea, Ron. I have a coffee flavored tea from David's Tea, which is a Canadian brand. I think there are some David's Teas in the US right now. It's called Mocha Latte, and it was seasonal. And I've emailed them and told them, you have to carry this full time because it was a seasonal tea. They got rid of it. I'm like, I bought them out. I went to a mall and I bought out their inventory. It's kind of embarrassing, actually. But anyway, I'm almost done that selection, if you will. So I've been stalking the company trying to get them to reproduce the tea. If you guys are tea drinkers, give this video a thumbs up. I'd love to see if you guys are into tea. So I'm going to show you a couple different tea options that I have, and then I'm going to talk to you about my kettle, which is over here, which is an adjustable temperature kettle, which is really important for brewing tea the right way. And then I'll get into some of your questions and comments. Oh yeah, and if you, by the way, if you know a great tea shop, let me know in the comments down below, because I'm always looking for great places to pick up new teas, and sometimes I'll just order them online and have them shipped to the house. So yeah, I would love to know. Oh, that's so funny. Just got a text message from the plumber. Okay, bro, I'm live. I can't do anything. All right, I told him to message Chad, so let's see what happens. Anyway, let me show you a couple of teas. So there's a spa in Ontario. If any of you guys are local, oh, Val says she has a tea drawer. Girlfriend, I have a tea drawer too. One day I'm going to show you guys my tea drawer. So at this particular spot, it's called St. Anne's. It's in in Ontario. It's not in Toronto. It's just outside of the GTA. They have some really beautiful teas, and this one is a green and white tea. It's called Feathery Pear, and that's kind of what it smells like. It's like a nice light pear flavored tea. It's a mix of green and white. And when you read instructions on how to brew tea, yes, I am using a tripod, by the way. If you read instructions on how to use tea, they usually say pour boiling water into your teapot and allow it to steep for a certain period of time. Now, some people, they just dunk the old tea bag in there and they leave it and they think that's the way tea is supposed to be made. But the truth is, tea has quite a ritual around it. You're supposed to brew your tea at a certain temperature for a certain period of time. And depending on the type of tea that you have, that will dictate how long you need to leave your tea bag or your loose tea leaves in for, and at what temperature you need to brew your tea. So it's really important to read the instructions, and if they don't tell you the particular temperature of the tea that you need to brew, then you can always reference it. But they do, if you have an adjustable temperature kettle like this guy, which I'll get into in a minute, you can pretty much set your selection based on the type of tea that you're brewing. So this being a green and white mix, I would probably set it for the lower of the two temperatures. And according to my kettle, green tea is the lowest temperature, so I would brew it for green tea. This one here is called Sweet Green. It's also by St. Anne's. You can order this stuff online. This tea is probably one of the best teas I've ever had in my life. It's got a mixture of, it's essential tea, it's got apple bits, brittle bits, which contain sugar, hazelnuts, candied pineapple, sugar. I mean, who's going wrong there? Coconut rasps, walnut bits, flavor, almond flakes. Like, who's not crying when they hear this? This is amazing. But for some of you who are off caffeine like me, because caffeine, aside from keeping me awake, makes me absolutely crazy in terms of in terms of anxiety. So I've tried to stay away from caffeine. But I'm going to show you another tea. This one here is by Lemon Lillie. It's a local Toronto brand, and it's called coconut ginger. And that's all it is. It's dried ginger and dried coconut. There's no additives. Everything's organic. But you know what I like about this is that they tell you exactly how to steep it. So it says 2 teaspoons at 200 Fahrenheit for 4 to 6 minutes. And when you actually brew according to package instructions, it makes all the difference. The flavor of the tea really comes out. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about my kettle here. I'm in my room. And the reason we're in the room is because if the plumber comes, We normally shoot in the kitchen, but I didn't want to have like all the plumber and lighting and the sink throwing up everywhere, so I thought this might be easier. This kettle is a Breville kettle, and I brought the little manual up so I could tell you. It's called the IQ kettle. I got it a couple years ago, and it's really cool. You know, it's your standard stainless steel kettle. It's got this little button here that opens and closes the kettle, but that's not the exciting part. The exciting part about the kettle here is that the base actually comes with multiple buttons where you can select different temperatures based on the type of tea that you're brewing. So you can do green tea, white tea, oolong, what's the next one over there? French press, black tea, or herbal. Oh no, sorry, black tea, which is also the boil temperature, 212 degrees Fahrenheit. And then it's got a keep warm button. So, you know, if you boil your water and then you know you're going to want more in like 10 or 15 minutes, you can just hit that keep warm button and it will maintain it at that temperature. And a lot of people don't think about this when they boil tea. They think, okay, I'm just going to throw some tea in the some water in the kettle and boil it and dump it in my tea. But the truth is, if you use water at the wrong temperature for the type of tea that you're brewing, you can ruin the flavor of the tea. You can singe the tea leaves, and it'll essentially turn the flavor bitter. It'll be unenjoyable. And I mean, when tea is brewed properly, it tastes heavenly. There's this one particular tea that I love. It's called Milky Oolong, and thumbs up if you guys have ever tasted Milky Oolong. It's like drinking cream and green tea mixed into one. It is divine. But if you brew it at the wrong temperature, it just has this like, and it's very expensive. So you don't want to ruin it. So when you're brewing oolong tea, you want to make sure that you're brewing it at the right temperature. And the other interesting thing about tea is that if you steep it for too long, unless it's a herbal tea, but if it's like a green tea or a black tea or a white tea, if you steep it for too long, the tannins basically take over the cup and your tea will become bitter, or it'll get that like flavor and you won't like it. So when you're brewing tea, you want to make sure that you're brewing it or you're steeping it for about 4 to 6 minutes, then you're discarding the tea leaves or the tea bag, and then you're enjoying. So temperature and brew time are really important if you want to have a delicious cup of tea. And I'm thinking about doing an in-depth video about this so I can explain the different temperatures and some different tea types that you can try, because tea really is an interesting world, and it's delicious. So if you guys haven't experimented with some teas, the tea for me that I love, matcha tea came through. Yeah, matcha's like drinking heavenly grass. It's really, 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 I don't know, matcha's like, it's like spring in a cup. It's delicious. And I actually love adding matcha to smoothies when I'm drinking caffeine, which now I'm not. But matcha's great, but if you guys have ever had brown rice green tea, that's another one that I love. And plain, what's another one that I think is amazing? Like sencha green tea is incredible. Like I said, Milky Oolong is by far one of my favorites. And a really good quality English breakfast is a wonderful black tea. And flavors are amazing too, so you can get all kinds of delicious flavors. Chai tea, somebody just wrote that. Chai tea is incredible. So the world of tea is really interesting and exciting if you can sort of get past the fact that it doesn't taste like coffee. So anyway, what I wanted to do is get into some of your questions, because you guys, every week I put up a little post and it says, hey, I'm going live on Thursday, ask me your questions. So I'm going to answer some of them for you now, and I'm just going to open up my email here because I email myself the questions, try to be organized. Any word from the plumber? Okay, little family meeting we just had over here. Okay, so the first question comes from Elle Lindquist, and if you guys don't know her, she is a family vlogger. Her and her husband, Dan, have a family vlog channel, and she's lovely. She's a friend of mine, and she asked the following question: what is your dream vacation spot? Guys, I'm going to tell you, my dream vacation spot is Asia right now. I am itching to go to Asia. And Chad and I almost were going to go to Japan and Thailand and Singapore in May, but then we ended up switching it over to California. So in May, we're going to be going to California, and I think we're going to do Asia in 2018, but that is my dream vacation spot right now. Nico Nico W. Lynn Wonderland says, what helps you to make smarter decisions when things go wrong? That is a great question. When things go wrong, you beat yourself up because you think I should have done the other thing, but the truth is hindsight's 20/20. And unfortunately, we don't have hindsight. So when you're making a decision, what I do is I tell myself, oh, someone just wrote wine. That's a fantastic way to make a decision. That aside. What I always do is I tell myself, listen, make a decision. If you make the wrong decision, you can correct course. But the most important thing, especially when you're a manager or a boss or an owner, is you have to make a decision, because indecision is the worst thing you can do. So giving yourself the opportunity to think things through, come up with the absolute best course of action based on the information that you have and the feeling that you have, the gut feeling, you kind of go with that. And then if it's wrong, you course correct. Ida Rabiner says, any suggestions on cleaning a brick fireplace? So yeah, I mean, brick fireplaces, depending on exactly what it is the issue you're facing is, if your bricks are sort of full of soot and they're kind of dirty, what you can do is you can take a scrub brush and you can apply a little bit of, there's a few different things you can try. I would say to try something dry first. So if you can even use a little bit of salt or baking soda and just scrub the brick a little bit and see if that comes off. I would always prefer to use something gentler than something more harsh, but I know some people will use a product like, there are more harsh products out there that you can use, but I'm not going to mention them because I don't think you have to go there. So try that first and let me know how that goes. Cecile Guillarme asks, are you a flowers and plants lover, and do you grow them? I do love flowers and I do love plants. The biggest problem for us is that we have cats, and the cats inhale any plants that we get, including flowers. It's like a free buffet for them. And oftentimes they will get sick. We've seen flowers thrown up on the floor. Molly, who is lying on the floor right beside Chad right now, 2 weeks ago, ate a succulent that we went to this beautiful like plant workshop and we made these beautiful terrariums, and Molly got into one of the terrariums and then she got a big sore on her lip and she wouldn't eat for a few days. So yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the plants that we have, we try to grow them outside, but anything indoors, unless it's hanging from the ceilings, which frankly we've been too lazy to arrange, the cats are going to eat them. But I love plants and I love herbs. I love all that stuff. Leanne Sands 2 says, can I spray rubbing alcohol on suede couches to remove odors and stains? So I would not recommend using anything rubbing alcohol based on anything suede. If it's microfiber, you can certainly try it. And in fact, we have a video about that on Clean My Space. So if you go to Clean My Space, the YouTube channel, and you type in microfiber sofa, you should be able to see that video come right up. And I just have a little reminder here on my phone. I'm just going to remove that. No one needed to see that. Another question came in from Roysa McCantier, and that is, what things catch your eye in a room that make you think it's messy or untidy? Like remotes, sitting out, blankets, sitting in the way, etc. And that's a great question. So if you read my book, you'll see I talk a lot about that, actually, how to trick your eye into thinking that your space is clean. And really what it comes down to is anything out of place. So for example, if you look at my bed right now, you can see I've got all this kind of stuff out of place that would make it look messy. But if this stuff, the kettle and the tea and whatever, wasn't there, you would actually think my room is pretty tidy. And it's not necessarily perfect, but it looks good because I spent a few minutes putting things away where they belong. So there's no clothes on the floor or hanging over that hamper over there. You know, there's nothing kind of lying out where it doesn't belong. The other thing that's really important in a room is to have everything parallel or perpendicular to the edge of a surface. And that way it makes everything instantly look tidier and cleaner. So yeah, if I see things that are basically out of place or not folded, like a blanket or a pillow that's sort of off kilter, that is an instant indication that the place is messy, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's dirty. So remember, cluttered and messy are very different from dirty. The next question is from Sarah Fenster, and that is, how do I clean the screen on my patio door? Yeah, so that's a good question. Frankly, you have to be kind of hardcore to want to clean that. I mean, I don't know if I would clean that. Mind you, you might clean it like every few years, but I certainly don't think it's something that you have to clean on a regular basis. Especially if you live in an area like I do with 4 seasons. There's really no point of, cleaning it out on the regular. So what you can do is you can take a wire brush, not a wire brush, but Molly could have stayed there. Oh no, Chad's nodding his head. Hell no, he says. She was going to cause too many problems. What you can do is you can take an iron handle scrub brush. You can dip it in a bucket filled with warm soapy water, and you can just start scrubbing. And then you can pat it down with a towel. You can also remove it entirely. You can remove the screen entirely and clean it on your porch if you really want to do that. However, I think that's a little much. So if you want the lazy way, line a towel at the bottom of the sliding door with the screen, give it a good scrub, and then you can rinse it down after, like you can pat it so that it's not dripping, and then you can take a clean sponge with clean water and you can kind of wipe it down to remove any dirty remnants, and then you can pat it dry. And that's it. And then Robin Patty says, regarding textured floors, when they've been allowed to get dirt in the nooks and crannies, is there an easy way to clean them? So I don't really know what kind of floor is the textured floor that you're referring to. But for example, what some people will do, if you have like an older hardwood floor and you've got dirt sort of in the crevices, some people just leave it there because it kind of ages the space and it doesn't really bother them, and it doesn't really take away from the aesthetic. It sort of adds to it because it has that aged look. It just sort of gets kind of dirty over time and things kind of get in there, and then it sort of becomes part of the furniture, if you will. But if you have floors where you're noticing that there is a buildup and it doesn't look aesthetically pleasing, what you can do again is you can take that iron handle brush and you can sort of brush out anything that's stuck in any of those crevices, and then you can use the vacuum to just quickly vacuum it up. If you sweep it, you'll probably sweep the dirt back into the crevices where the dirt was initially, so you don't want to do that. Chad, are there any other questions that came through on comments?
JT Plays says, Happy Easter, guys.
Ooh, Happy Easter. Are you guys going on a little Easter egg hunt? We are. Tomorrow night we're going to my in-laws, to Chad's eldest brother's house. My sister-in-law puts on like a killer Easter dinner. I am very excited for the turkey. My mother-in-law called me today and she was telling me for like 25 minutes how she got Easter eggs with all of our nieces and nephews' names written on them. So I'm very aware of that situation, and I know the kids are going to love that. And that's our Easter thing. And then I'm going to the spa on the weekend with my girlfriend. Chad and I have a couple of family errands we need to run. But that's that. Oh, low power mode. God, it's only the 3rd time I've had to charge my phone today.
Home remedy for sore throats or coughs?
Ooh, there are lots of different home remedies for that stuff. You know what I do? I have hot water and lemon and cinnamon. If you've ever tried that. I do that, and then I also use a neti pot, which might sound weird because you're thinking I have a sore throat, but remember that your ears, your nose, and your throat are all connected, and a neti pot can really help that. And Maxie, if you're not understanding, I don't speak Spanish fluently, so I hope you can sort of understand what I'm saying. But yeah, if translate...
Maxie asks, where are you from?
Oh, I'm from Ontario in Canada. So Ontario is a province in Canada. That's where I am.
Alexandra asks, hi Melissa, what advice do you have for cleaning a big carpet?
Cleaning a big carpet? It depends if you're thinking vacuuming or if you're thinking professionally cleaning. If it hasn't been cleaned in a long time, you can lift it up. You can take it to an actual professional cleaner and let them clean it for you. You can also bring someone into your home who can professionally clean the carpet, or you can just remove all furniture off of it and vacuum it or steam clean it yourself. I'm going to be able to take one more question because I think my battery's about to croak. But let's see it. What is it, Chad?
Any advice to stop kitty litter from getting all over the floor?
Yeah, you gotta vacuum regularly. We're in the same boat as you. I mean, you can get those little mats and they're supposed to help, but let's be honest, cats don't give a crap whether your floor is messy or not. They're just gonna do what they do.
One more, this is a really good one. What essential oil do you recommend for an all-purpose DIY cleaner?
Ooh, essential oil for all-purpose DIY cleaner. I love thyme. Thyme is a great essential oil, and it also has a lot of disinfecting properties. But oh my gosh, you can use any. Grapefruit's great. Oh gosh, have fun with them.
Andrea Stone asks, the bowls and flatware spoons that I have are not shiny. What's the best way to shine them up?
Oh, you know what? You know what works really well? Hot water and vinegar and a flat weave microfiber cloth works incredibly well to shine up your stuff. Okay, guys, I'm so sorry. I don't know what's up with my phone battery today. It's being totally weird. I don't know if you are facing any of these issues, but I've got to take off before this thing cuts off on me. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been a slice, as they say. A slice of what? I don't know. Pizza, cake, take your pick. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Let's do this again next Thursday. Have a great time, and I will see you then. Adios.